What's going on? Jason Parks of the Media Captain. Today, a popular question that I get is whether or not you should bid on competitor keywords. So I'm going to dive in to the upside, the downside, and I'll let you make the ultimate decision after you hear my reasoning for each. So what's the obviously when you're bidding on a competitor keyword, within the back end of Google Ads, when you're setting up an ad, you can select a competitor keyword, and your ads can populate when someone is typing in that company name. So obviously that could be lucrative, but it also might not be advantageous. So let's dive into it. Okay, so the downside is that you're starting a bidding war. So let's say you think it's a good idea to go after a competitor's keyword, and then all of a sudden though, like if nobody's bidding on your brand name, you might just be starting a war. Your competitors then could flood your brand name, start bidding on your brand name, and then what you thought was a good idea is now actually more detrimental. So just be cognizant of that if you want to start bidding on a competitor's keyword, they might come right back at you. You could confuse visitors. So a lot of times when people are typing in a competitor's keyword, they're looking to get in contact with customer service, they're wanting to pay a bill, they have a question on their upcoming appointment, so you might be getting a lot, you might think it's good traffic, but a lot of traffic to a competitor's website is not for new business. It could just, in a lot of instances, be customer service. So do you want to have to pay per click for that sort of traffic? And of course, monitor your search terms to to oversee that. Low conversion rate. I mean, that goes hand in hand with what I mentioned before. If somebody is looking for billing within a company and you're getting all of these clicks based off of that, you might have a low conversion rate. Cost per click might be lower, but at the end of the day, if it's not converting, who cares? So just make sure that you're monitoring the search terms for that. So those are downsides. Is there upside? Yes, of course there's upside. There's a lot of times when you bid on a competitor keyword, it's a cheaper cost per click. We have a client, and national client, they do carpet cleaning. They bid on a competitor's keyword. It's lucrative for them. It works. So there are some instances where it definitely works, and it has a cheaper cost per click than going after a competitive term like carpet cleaning company. The other thing is it can drive that low cost per acquisition. Going back to the carpet cleaning company, they get a lower cost per acquisition on their competitor campaigns. You can acquire market share. You can steal clicks away from your competitors, and you might be able to convert some of those. So that is another thing to consider as well. So there is upside and downside. Questions to ask when you're considering setting up a competitor campaign: can you beat competitors on price? For that carpet cleaning company, the campaign works because they have a heavy promotion and they beat these competitors on price, okay? So even if someone is possibly looking just for a customer service related question, when they see that great pricing, it could lure them in and turn them into a customer. The next thing is like, what's your unique selling proposition? Are you just going in and putting ad copy that doesn't have a strong call to action, doesn't have a discount? Make sure to be strategic when you're coming up with your ad copy and doing a competitor campaign. The other thing is be careful, because if you're bidding on a competitor's keyword, that's one thing. If you include a competitor's keyword in your ad copy, you could get a cease and desist letter from an attorney for copyright or trademark infringement. So just be aware of that within your ad copy. If their brand name is trademarked, you don't want to include that. This last one is really important, and I don't know if you can see this low on the board, but is your customer service and sales department trained and ready for this? If you start getting a bunch of phone calls from people having billing questions about a competitor, like, you need to be prepared to sell them on your services, on your product. And a lot of times the training doesn't get carried over onto the sales staff or onto the customer service side of things. It absolutely has to, because if you want to convert, you have to know how to take these customers that were looking for another company, might not even realize that they're on your website, and then convert them with your great pricing or your great service offering. So there you have it. I'll leave it up to you to make the decision on whether to bid on competitors' keywords.